You got to fucking live your life, man. Because you've only got one to live. And you've got to make it as awesome and as epic and as failure as possible. Don't let me down because I'm counting on you, bro. I can't do it unless you do what you need to do. I don't have the energy. I can't carry this alone. I need to know that it's gonna help you. I can't help. It turns out that Lily Pichu awesomely gave us like $3,000. So she has single-handedly like funded, you know, just a gigantic amount of stuff and has gotten our first few milestones met. So a huge thank you to Lily. You know, we all think that Lily is awesome and we really support her, and we hope that Lily One is really taking care of Lily Two. And I think that whole revelation from that stream, I think, has been really helpful for me too, to really conceptualize people as like version A or version B. And so a gigantic thank you to Lily for being so supportive and then like funding us our coaching program, because then we can coach people and hopefully help other people. So gigantic thank you to Lily Pichu, gigantic thank you to her community for being such an awesome community and like getting along with us and supporting us. They're like wholesome and positive.
And the kids from that same school would continue to harass me, throwing stones at me. I'd come home bleeding. They'd egg my house and they'd constantly ridicule me. So there wasn't really anything I could do to escape it. It just followed me everywhere, and my world just shrank and shrank. I gave up my paper round. I gave up going outside, and just even opening the front door started to give me a bit of a heart attack. So people didn't take my tics well. People didn't, you know, there was a lot of stuff going on that just I couldn't really change or contend with. So I just withdrew.
Wow. That sounds awful. That just sounds honestly kind of insane. Like, I've never heard of a 13-year-old being beaten into unconsciousness, nor have I heard of someone who like has a paper route who gets like stones thrown at them. I mean, it sounds like you were hunted.
Yeah, well,
when COVID happened, we tweeted out, we said, how are you guys dealing with COVID? And the response that we got is that it's actually not that bad. It's not very different from my regular life. And so my first thought was, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, people are more adaptive towards, you know, COVID because they're gamers. But then another part of me like jumped up and thought something really horrible. The rest of the world is falling apart because they're quarantined, and we live like this every single day. That COVID quarantine is a way of life for our generation. That is fucked up. Just think about that for a second. It's not that we're more, like, the fact that we're adapted to COVID is fucking terrifying. Right? That there's a growing population of people who lives like this day in and day out. The rest of the world is fucking falling apart, and we're like, what the fuck is wrong with you guys? Just stay at home. Oh, you can't get your nails did? Like, who the fuck cares?
I got angry, and then I would get sad because I was angry, and then
what did the teachers do?
They put me in anger management.
Which is a class that teaches you to do what?
To control my anger.
And become monotone. See that?
Yeah.
Really, huh?
Yeah.
Like literally, just think about this for a second, Dyrus. Literally, you were put in a class that taught you how to take what's on the inside and not show it to the people on the outside.
Oh, so is that, okay.
Like, does that sound like a stretch to you?
No,
because it feels
actually,
like,
that makes sense.
Yeah. And then I popped him in the head, and boy, I almost killed him. And then I learned my lesson. So it's like no one's fault. And so when no one's at fault, no one needs to take responsibility. And that's where I think we've fucked up, basically, as a society, with this whole generation. We've let all you guys down. Because what we've done is we've labeled you with illness. We've said, oh yeah, you're depressed. It's a fucking neurochemical imbalance. Boomers are like, go see a psychiatrist and get an SSRI. Not my fucking problem. And then I said, okay, so like, did you find it useful? And she said, yeah. And then I was like, well, so what do you have in your hand? And then she looks at me like I'm a complete fucking dumbass for the second time. And she's like, it's a toothbrush. It's a bag with a toothbrush, toothpaste, and floss. And I look at her and I'm like, okay, so is that your toothbrush? And she looks at me like I'm a fucking idiot again. And then she's like, yeah, it's my tooth. And then I ask her, third stupid question, which is like, why do you have a toothbrush? And then she says, to brush my teeth. And then I look at her and I'm like, but you don't have any teeth. And then she looks at me and she starts laughing. And like, it's like the biggest laugh in the world. My attending starts laughing. Everyone starts laughing. And she's like, yeah, but I don't have any teeth. And I was like, then why do you have a toothbrush? And then she says, I don't know. And everyone's just laughing. And then my attending falls out of his chair. And that's the day I decided I was going to become a psychologist.
Protect myself, kind of. Like, when people would theorize or say, like, or try to twist a lot of stuff, like, publicly, I'd be like, oh, like, all they see is, like, pokey. Like, they don't know me personally. And like, that's kind of how I separated the two to kind of, like, make myself feel better. But the kind of theory that I came to recently is more so that, not that, like, I know or knew what I wanted to be, but that I just haven't given myself time to, like, identity develop, because I've spent so much time trying to please others.
Yeah, man. What is this bitch complaining about?
Who are you again? I'm I'm Moses or French on the Discord. I am Dr. K's assistant. I help. I'm McLovin. I'm McLovin from Superbad Bucket.
I can't pay for the rest because I have a family to support, but I will pay for your first year of community college.
What?
I'm serious. I'll pay for it. My wife is going to throttle me. I'm so fucked. But I'm going to do it.
Actually, you should probably.
Did you guys know that she is...
I do know.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And then
You know,
they will
so
understand my pain so much.
So she's CEO of Healthy Gamer. I'm not actually the force behind Healthy Gamer. This beautiful woman is the force behind Healthy Gamer. And my favorite part about this, so here's pro tip. So people say that you shouldn't go into business with family. Here's the pro tip. If you go into business with your wife, you can sexually harass her and it's completely fine.
Is it though?
Jesus Christ. What the
Right?
fuck?
That's Christian. You said it was okay. Yeah, Iman, you're not allowed to have feelings. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? Having feelings? Being hurt by people? You're Twitch royalty. Who the fuck told you you get to have feelings? What do y'all want to do? You want to do a little bit of Q&A or something? Do we want to talk about Friday? Should we talk about our feelings? Chess. What is chess? So I want you to sit up straight. Let me think. We don't want to overdo it.
That's okay.
Maybe it'll be easier. So I wonder if doing things with your body is going to be easier. Are you
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go?
How tall? You're tall?
Yeah, I'm 6'2".
Okay. Yeah. Sure, we can do something standing. So. Okay. Let's do something standing. All right.
Check.
All right. So it's going to be really simple. Let's just see what happens. Okay.
Okay, sounds good.
We're gonna. So that I was asking you to sit up straight, but you're standing now. So let's run with it.
What does that mean? Sit up straight. I don't know what that means.
To Summoner's Rift.
Tofu.
30 seconds until minions
Shadow
spawn.
is not as dark as one might think.
15 seconds. Ignite scenario 2. Shit! Man, I had to...
Demacia forgot the true cost of war.
Minions have spawned.
It's fucking easy mode.
I don't know.
I mean, do
I
streamers
hope it
usually
goes.
have gigantic reactions to watching things on LSM?
I think so.
What can I say? My brain hungereth for League. React harder. Ah.
Just like scream into the mic.
Like it's like, you know, it's so I feel like me watching clips on LSF, because I really don't understand Twitch or who these people are, is like watching, you know, some kind of like penguin mating dance. And it's like they're doing all this like movement and stuff, and I mean, I just don't understand what they're doing. And it's like, oh, like it's kind of some kind of like bird like displaying its feathers, and like look at the way that bird is shaking its like red feathers, and then all the other birds are like, oh shit, that's like a red feather. Oh my, you see that? What do you do with those red feathers? And then we're just watching this, and it's like, what? Yeah. Okay, so I need to know Dr. K tits or ass. Probably ass. Swanky, does that make you happy? Dude, Swanky keeps on donating because he wants an answer to the question, but okay. Now, there are all kinds of weird interpretations you can have for this, and I don't think it's fair for me to really make any of them unless, you know, unless I've talked to the person. But people identify as different things. Like, that's just part of psychology. Like, people like identify as different things, and they can have all kinds of reasons to identify as different things. And we don't understand exactly what's going on with this person until we ask her, like, you know, what makes you feel like you're a deer? And I would love to ask that question. You know, how long have you been a deer? Were you born a deer? Like, what do you think you're in this body? Like, I would love to ask that question. And I have worked with people who have had identities of like animals before. I've also worked with people who, yeah, and like it's, you know, it's like, so you just talk to them and you try to figure out like where this comes from. Yeah. Interview Raj. Raj with 2 J's, or is that a typo?
I think it was with 2 J's.
Raj J?
Yeah, there's a man named Raj Patel also streams.
Okay. Yeah, whatever. You guys, I'm happy to interview my brown brothers.
Patels. Oh, he's white.
He's white?
Yeah.
Is he like adopted?
I think he just decided to name himself Raj Patel. I think that's the lore.
Does he do like Indian accents? Or we do here, right? So we talk to people and we learn about them, and we are not judgmental. But she was, as I understand, she was recently just advised by Twitch to not do interviews until they have a safety council safety advisory council meeting tomorrow. So hopefully she'll come on Wednesday. And, you know, we definitely don't want to do anything that is going to negatively impact her professional career or performance. So, you know, I'm disappointed. And also at the same time, you know, we don't want this stream to be damaging to people in any way, shape, or form.
Did you ever try League yourself?
Yeah, I played League, and we had like people from, you know, Twitch come on and carry the shitty in me.
Oh, okay.
And we played like 5 games and somehow went undefeated.
Wow.
Probably because I was getting carried.
Don't get too many. Don't get your hopes up here. Might not be able to carry here.
Well, that's because Dota's a real game and League is for noobs. The thing that we can do for people is for us to for us to help them is not to actually be neutral towards them, but for us to actually be helped by them. Right? Is for us to actually like let them help us. Yeah.
Sorry.
That wasn't what I meant, but you know, I get that.
Yeah, breakfast. I can agree that, you know, being able to state your needs is an opportunity for others to. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was awesome. Thank you very much, and stay
Fuck
safe.
off.